or is that something that's kept a little bit separate from your family life?
We do. We do. And kids, don't try this at home, but yes, we read each other's scripts and we talk about what we're about to shoot. We give each other notes, and there's been remarkably little bloodshed and hurt feelings over the years. We met in the theater. We both grew up in the theater. We both adore the theater, and we love acting, and so it's what we share, and we do talk about it. And she's such a magnificent woman. She wants nothing but the best for me, so I don't have to worry about any of that sort of stuff. And I flatter myself that I want the best for her. But we just adore the process so much that we do talk about it, and it helps. It really helps to be able to talk about it.
She's an amazing woman. Just personally curious, I know now we're here in Monte Carlo. Have you been here before?
Never been.
Talk to me about your impression of this area. I think it's such a mystery to so many people who've never been. What is the energy like here? What do you feel when you're here?
Well, it's an odd place to put a city. I mean, the mountains are right there. They decided, well, there's about 35 feet of beachfront. Let's build a bunch of high-rises. We went to the palace last night and met the prince. The coat of arms here has two monks holding swords, which we asked about. So apparently what happened 5 centuries ago? There was one family, the Grinaldi family, had taken over everything in this area except for that fort up on the hill, which is still there. So what they did is 2 of the Grinaldi brothers dressed up as monks and knocked on the door. And when they answered the door, they pulled knives out and slaughtered everyone in the place. And so now that was the founding of the city. And you would think they'd be a little chagrined about it, but there are tapestry paintings of it everywhere.
Very proud of it. What was it like meeting Prince Albert? Did you get to have a conversation with him?
I didn't have a conversation, but poor schmuck, he had stood there in line and met 500 people. But we met one of his personal secretaries who took us behind the barriers and saw a little bit of the palace. The architecture is magnificent. This joint's old. It's been here for a long time.
I feel like the history here. It's almost kind of a magical place, I want to say. That.
Yeah.
And support, what's that like?
Truthfully, it's still surprising. I have to pinch myself. I guess this is what actors dream of. It feels unreal that there are people that talk about films that I did 20 years ago and they actually live in the lexicon. I don't know what happens. You get busy, and the next thing you know, you're 61 and you have a whole career behind you. It's snuck up on me. At my age, though, to find something like Shameless is truly a mitzvah, as our Jewish brethren would say. It's new. It's wildly new. There's nothing like it on television. And what a role I have. I play Frank Gallagher, a drinking alcoholic and drug addict and complete narcissist, the worst father in the history of television. In the second episode, I headbutt my own son and break his nose. There's blood everywhere. And I turn to him and I say, "Oh, come on, it's just a broken nose." I did that scene so well that we had to shoot. It's the only reshoot we did. We had to add a scene where I apologized. And I took great pride in that, because there's a part of every actor that's going to want to worry about if you're getting over, whether you're sympathetic or not. And I decided early on I don't give a shit. And I've always felt it's a hallmark of great acting that you don't care what the audience thinks of you. You just care what you're aiming for, what you want. And I was proud that I was so successful that we had to go back and shoot a scene where I said, "I'm sorry."
I do imagine that's very likable. So you never even tried this character to make him a likable guy.
The only makeup I get is the tonnage of products they put in my hair. If I'm not careful, I look like Doris Day with all this hair. So I fear someday my head will snap just for the sheer poundage of crap they put in my hair. It'll just fall over. And I am very proud of the fact that in the first season, I never had a costume fitting. Not one. I say, just put them in the trailer. Give me 3 choices and I'll put on something. And as it turns out, I wear the same puke-stained t-shirt all the time. I got the best role on television right now.
I'm wondering, going in now to the second season, can you tell us anything to expect? Are we going to get to know a little bit about why Frank Gallagher is the way that he is, or what are we going to find out about his character, about his family?
We're going to go in new directions, and as a personal goal, I would like to dig a little deeper as to what makes Frank what. It occurred to me, actually it didn't occur to me, my wife said, do you ever wonder why Frank is in such pain that he drinks and is loaded all the time? Which was her cagey way of saying, perhaps you could act better. And she's right. I watched the whole season and I did play it for comedy. So perhaps we can go a little deeper. I actually do know where the season's going because, lucky palooka that I am, I'm writing episode 6 with my good pal Stephen Schechter. So I've been sitting in the writer's room and I could tell you where we're going, but then I'd have to kill you. There's wild stuff. We're going to diverge from the British version. The Brits, silly gooses that they are, they don't sign their actors to big contracts. So their Fiona, who's the oldest daughter, played by Emmy Rossum on our show, and Steve, her love interest, they didn't have him signed to a contract. So guess what? He became a big fat movie star and married Fiona and took her away and they had babies. So they've lost their 2 leads. So their show went on a different direction. We're keeping Steve and Fiona, and we're going to diverge from the British version season. We got time for it.
What would you want to be doing?
I love carpentry. I also happen to be the worst carpenter I've ever met. It's just remarkable what an idiot I am in a shop, but I love it, and I've got all the tools known to man. I've got a great shop. We're at home. We're building a little casita now, and I hired a guy who's a genius carpenter and is gopher, and I'm learning a lot about it. But what a sweet little building it is. I built a chicken coop. We have chickens at our house, and I built some furniture. Some of it is heirloom quality. It'll be around for a while. Maybe I'd be a carpenter.
You can go back to the theater and do some carpentry work.
Yeah, I could build sets.
You could build sets.
Which is where I came from.
Thank
Nice
you so
talking
much.
to you.
Nice talking to you too.
Thank you guys.
Thank you.